see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
Welcome back. Another Wednesday night, another box truck testimonial. Come on in. Hit that like button. Let me know when you guys checking in. I see y'all real quiet tonight, but that's okay. That's okay. Come on in. Hit that like button. Let me know where you are checking in from. We're going to get started. I'm going to pay some bills. I am going to pay some bills, and then we are going to get started. So come on in. How you feeling tonight, young man?
Feeling good, feeling great.
Good.
Blessed to be here, man. It's an
Appreciate
honor to be here.
Appreciate you. All right, come on in, y'all. Come on in. All right, are you a small business owner in need of capital to take your business to the next level? Look no further than Rock Financial, your trusted partner in business financing. I recently had an opportunity to speak with the team at Rock Financial, which will be here tomorrow on tomorrow's podcast, and I was blown away by their dedication to helping small businesses thrive. They understand the unique challenges that entrepreneurs face, and they've tailored their services to provide flexible financing solutions that work. With Rock Financial, you can access a wide range of funding options, including business loans, lines of credit, equipment financing, and even merchant cash advances. They work with businesses of all sizes and industries, so whether you're just starting out or looking to expand, Rock Financial has a solution for you. So whether you need capital to grow your business, purchase equipment, or simply manage cash flow, Rock Financial is here to support you every step of the way. Visit their website in description below to learn more and start your journey towards financial success. Once again, thanks to the sponsor, Rock Financial, for making this episode of Box Truck Testimonials possible. To all my subscribers, to all the listeners, remember your dreams and business aspirations are within reach with the right partner. Rock Financial, your success is their business. All right. So come on in. Make sure you guys hit that link in the description if you are looking for capital for your business, working capital, lines of credit, SBA, term, whatever. All right. So come on in. Come on in. All right, let's see what we got. I see Mike G in the building. Shout out to Mike G. Appreciate you for coming up last night, Mike G. It's DeWalt Cleveland in the building. They got Florida in the building. Vernon Kearney is in the building. We got Dallas in the building. Charleston, South Carolina. We got Alabama in the building. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Sacramento. What else? Keep up the good works, Mark. Checking in from the Virgin Islands. Love your content. Appreciate you, Barbara Lee. Appreciate you. Shout out to all the moderators in the building. Shout out to Pippi. Hit that like button. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to all the MGMs, the Mentor Gang members. All right. Shout out to Oakland. E-Double was in my comments. What was E-Double? E-Double was in my comments trying to bully me yesterday. But I appreciate you for being here, E-Double. No hard feelings. E-Double told me I'm the reason it's so much black on black crime in Chicago. Me. But shout out to you, E-Double. I didn't take no offense to anything you said. Barbara Lee, what up? Kai, what's up? Moose Lodge in the building. Appreciate you. Shout out to all the MGMs. Come on in. All right, so I got a webinar. Listen, I'm not used to the webinar. I done did 3 shows this week and ain't mentioned the webinar not one time. Got a webinar, all right, October 15th, 9 a.m., all right? Make sure you click the link in the description below so you can get all of the specs for what the webinar is going to cover. If you're interested in attending, I priced it very affordably, all right? Very affordably. I'm not trying to go upside nobody here. I just want to at least cover the cost and, cover my time. So it's under $100, all right? Under $100, very affordable. So make sure you hit the link so you can see what the webinar is going to cover. And if it's something that you are interested in, I hope to see you there. E-Double says this is my mentality. No, my mentality is conducive to my environment. My mentality is conducive to my environment. If I come to another environment, maybe my mentality will change. But because of my environment, my head is always on a swivel. And there's a certain way I got to move. And it's just a certain way, certain people I have to align myself with for a multitude of reasons. So you're right. My mentality is that of which I am a product of, which is my environment. So I 100% agree with you. You won't catch me lacking. You won't. All right. So you absolutely right on that. You right. So come on in. I'm gonna bring you up, but just not today. This ain't that. You should have came up yesterday. You want to hold me accountable? Send me a headshot so I can put you on the thumbnail, and then I'll address it. E-Double holds Mark the Mentor accountable. And we can do it. Just send me a headshot, DM me your headshot so we can do the thumbnail. We can dress it up real cool. And then listen, I'm not running. Hold me accountable. And then we got that conversation. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you said in the chat. I ain't harboring no hard feelings. It's all love. So come on in. This is what it's about. It's about conversation. We had a great conversation last night with Kurt. We had a great conversation Sunday. And we're gonna have a great conversation tonight with I guess tonight I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? This is episode 5 of Box Truck Testimonials. Why don't you introduce yourself for me?
All right. My name is Justin Walker. But first, I want to say thank you, Mark, for giving me an opportunity to come on the show tonight.
Hmm.
Uh, Very grateful for the time you put into the channel. My business would not be where it is right now without your guidance, so I appreciate that.
I
But
appreciate you, man. Thank
my
you.
name, yes, sir, yes, sir. My name is Justin Walker. I'm 25 years old, based out of Tallahassee, Florida. I am an ex-college student. I played college basketball in Joliet, Illinois for 2 years. And
Wait.
then
You
I
you
went to,
from you from here or no?
no, 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 no. I'm not from Illinois, but I played basketball at University of St. Francis
Okay.
in Joliet, Illinois. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
played there 2 years. Um, then I went to a school in Miami. Then I ultimately came back home and went to Florida State. My
Mhm.
major was psychology, minor in business. So um, yeah, I ultimately ended up dropping out of college my last semester to pursue the businesses that I had cultivated around that time. So I currently run and manage three businesses, one being rental properties. I rent to travel nurses and short-term rentals. Another one being Turo and like when you can rent your car to people. And lastly
Mhm.
being I'm a financial consultant. So I teach my peers around me how to navigate the stock market, just teach them basic things about the economy, such as inflation, etc. So that's pretty much me. I've been on this entrepreneur journey for about 3 years now. I had quit my job probably a year and a half ago, and it's just been on go ever since. Been working every day, 24 hours ever since. So, but yeah, that's pretty much me, man. Just a normal down to earth guy.
Okay. All right. So you're 25 and
Mhm.
you are in the box truck business. So what ultimately brought you to the box truck business? What brought you to logistics? Hold on one second.
Well,
We got
good.
40 people in here almost so far. We got 13. We only got 20 likes. We only got 20 likes. Hit that like button, man. Come on now. Come on now. Come
Get the
on
like
now.
button.
Hit the like button. This young
Get
man
the
taking
like button.
time out his day to share his journey. I'm sure someone will be able to pick up from some things that he's done right. I'm pretty sure someone will be able to pick up for some things he's done wrong. I've been here every night. I've been here.
Every night.
Well, Sunday I was on Kirk's channel, which I cut up that live and posted on this channel. I did peak season live Monday night. I did a live last night, and then I'm back here tonight. So come on, y'all, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's get them likes up, man. Let's get them likes up. All right. So I'm sorry about that. All right. So what
No
brought you to the
problem.
box truck space?
Ultimately, what brought me to the box truck space is, like I said, I was working my normal job. I had dropped out of college because I just felt like for the businesses that I had going on, it would benefit me more to allocate my time towards scaling those businesses. So ultimately, I end up hitting a wall, and I just didn't have enough capital to scale the rental property game and to invest into stocks and trade options at the level that I wanted to. So ultimately, that led me to sit down and think, okay, how can I produce more capital, more cash flow? So
Mm-hmm.
um, I ended up I always wanted to get into logistics and transportation. That was
Mm-hmm.
always my plan B though. So I knew if something go wrong, I'm gonna get into logistics, XYZ, whatever. But I
Okay.
ended up being a medical courier for US Pack, and I was
Mm.
doing this in my car. I was doing this in my car, and I was like, okay, I actually kind of like this. So I ended up thinking,
Okay.
how can I
S-
scale this?
Stop there for a second.
Uh,
Let's get into the US pack because a lot of people ask about the US pack. But before I go there, E double, if you still in here, I was just messing with you, man. I was just messing with you. But I would like to have that conversation with you. But go ahead. Let's talk about US pack. Because a lot of people ask me about US pack. So you've done it in your car. How was that experience? Is it worth doing it in your car? Is it profitable? Talk to us about that experience because that ultimately led you into the box truck business.
So I'm gonna be honest. It's a very good opportunity. Um, you can make anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a week. I was delivering medicine to nursing homes, so it was very easy. You just go in, drop it off, scan it, and you pretty much leave. I had a dedicated route at one point, driving like 10 p.m. at night to like 3 a.m. in the morning. So I actually loved it, and I would say if you plan on doing it, come in with a business plan because I ended up using the car that I was using for Turo, and it's
Mm-hmm.
somewhat of a nicer grade car. And ultimately, I realized like, man, you really putting too many miles on this car, so let's really start saving to transition into the box truck game. But I would say if you're interested in US Pack and you go and get a car like a Prius for like $14,000 and your car payment like 300 a month, man, you're gonna eat because you're gonna make $1,000 a week. And so I would say it's extremely profitable. I mean, if you're at a job you don't really like, it's an amazing substitute. So I'm a
Mm-hmm.
fan of US Pack for sure, for sure,
Okay. So you ran through
for sure.
US Pack and then what?
So I ended up running with US Pack, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to get into the box truck. So literally for about, I think I really wrote down that I was gonna get a truck. I started on the journey in April 29th, exactly. And I just started researching. I started researching and researching. Now, I will say this, I had a slight advantage because like I said, I've been managing businesses for the last 3 years, and I started off rough as far as not making a business plan, as far as not saving capital, as far as not being aware of working capital and how to manage your expenses. So I knew this time that coming into a business like box trucking, where you talking about, you could be potentially handling 10 to 20,000 a month. That was more than I had ever seen. So I really took my time with it this time. I started off watching Cody Burns. I had heard you talk about him last night. I started off watching Cody Burns. Then I ultimately watched the box show a couple a little bit. And then once I found you and Kurt, it's been y'all ever since. Not to knock nobody else, but I did my research, and once I found you and Kurt, I watched the channel every night for 3 months. And ultimately, now I'm here. Started my
And
authority in
this is
July.
and this is before you purchased the box truck, right?
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
And what when was this? What month was this? Last year? Was this earlier this year when you were researching on YouTube?
This was April of this year.
So April of this year. Okay. All right. So not too
Hmm.
long ago. Not too long ago.
Not too long ago. Not too long
All
ago.
right. So you found me
Not
and
too long.
Kirk, and then what?
So once I found you and Kirk, I mean, at first I was kind of being led astray by some content creators, simply because I was going to rent, But me, I kind of already knew that that wasn't the smart route to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought the rates were like everybody was saying the rates, the cool. I'm renting my truck doing 8,000 a week, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, still, I'm probably gonna want to own. So after I really watched you and Kirk, I started going down the line of seeing how I wanted to enter the space. At first, I was gonna do non-CD or hot shot because I had a pickup truck already, and I was just gonna
Mm-hmm.
get a $12,000 trailer and do that. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, and that was really when I started to lock in with your channel, and you was talking about the final mile, being home every night, the ability to scale that is much more, I guess, it's much more easier to persuade a driver to work for you if they know they're going to be home every night and making $1,000 a week. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just think about this from a long-term perspective. If I want to be in the game for a while and scale, I think the box truck would be a better route. So I looked into getting my own authority. That process was a lot more stressful than I thought, but I ended up setting all that up by myself. Me and my mom helped me out. Similar to your mom, my mom's been a principal and a teacher for the last 25 years. So I
Mm.
must say that I definitely had that benefit. She definitely helped me with a lot of paperwork. But I got my authority up and active. Um, then I researched some insurance policies. And this is where I kind of want to advise people a little bit. If you're my age, bro, you have to find somebody who you can put on that insurance policy to make it cheaper. Are you setting yourself up for failure right out the gate? Progressive was trying to charge me $2,700 a month and wanted me to put down $9,000 before I could even start the policy, and that was outrageous. That
Was
was
this through a
outrageous. So
broker? Was this through a broker, or did you go directly?
this this was through a broker. I had went through Berkshire Hathaway, the company owned by Warren
Warren
Buffett. I
Buffett.
went
Yeah.
through, yeah, I had went through Progressive, and everybody was telling me I think the lowest I got was 2,300, and I didn't even have them, and I didn't have $1 million liability. So I'm like, man, it got to be another way. It has to be another way, or I was gonna have to wait. So ultimately, I got a little discouraged, but then I just got creative. So I ended up going to my parents and I pitched them the idea of the box truck game, and they were like,
Box, box truck
"We'll do it."
business.
Box, box truck business, box truck business, and they ended up telling me, "Okay, we'll do it, but you have to create a business plan, and you have to
Mm.
get up here and you got to explain it to us." And at first, I was kind of like, okay, y'all don't trust me. But at the end of the day, that's life experience, and that made me really research and bring to the table the numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I did my research. I kept diving into the channel. I just asked around the neighborhood, people who I knew that was in the trucking industry, and then I just made a really detailed business plan, and then I ended up bringing my parents on board. So I put I had added my dad and my mom to my business, and it's certain ways you can do that. I had added them to the LLC that I already had, and I ended up
Mm-hmm.
putting the insurance policy in my mom's name as the primary holder, and then that brought my insurance down from 2,700 to 1,400 a month, and I ended up only having to put down 3,000.
You added yourself as
So,
a driver,
but
though, right?
yeah. I added myself as a driver, and the crazy thing was, it really was just my dad on the policy, my mom, my dad, and it was 1,400. And then when we went to add me, we just naturally assumed it was going to go up another 400 or 500, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't. It didn't increase at all. So I would advise anybody who's around my age, and if you got any type of tickets on your record, man, just really try to pull in your aunt, uncle, mom, dad, whoever who is a little older, so you can get it cheaper. Um, yeah, so insurance. So after the insurance part, I ended up purchasing my truck from Penske. Um, Penske had a little program going where you could put zero money down. So we ended up doing that, and that truck note came out to 1,400 a month, and we also got a 2-year warranty that includes 200,000 miles. Um, so should I keep going? Because
Yeah, keep
it's a
going.
little
It's
bit
your
more.
testimonial.
Okay, okay. Okay. I just want okay. So, and with that, I'll tell everybody, Penske, I would advise anybody, I would advise everybody to go to Penske. Why? Because their trucks are newer. At first I was thinking about Ryder, but Ryder's trucks look like trash. If I'm being honest with y'all, Ryder trucks just look like trash. So I ended up going to Penske. They keep their trucks pretty maintained. They had what I was looking for. Ended up getting a 2017 International with a Cummins engine. Had 205,000 miles on it.
Level one,
So
two, or
we
three.
ended up doing level one,
Okay.
level one.
What was the ticket on
So
it?
market price was 56,000.
Pay
Yeah,
56 for 2017. You said
yeah. I don't know if that's.
international.
Hey, I was just, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel
You
you.
gotta
I
get the you
feel
gotta get the
you.
double because it's an international. And then you gotta get another for the price. You gotta get two of them. One because it's an international, and then one because of the price. So
I hope I ain't tweaking. I hope
no,
I
you
ain't
should.
tweaking. I hope I
Hey,
don't get the
we no
button quite yet.
we don't do the tweaking button on testimonials. We don't not on
Okay,
testimonials.
for
We
sure.
can't.
You're
But
right.
what was
You're
the
right.
what's what is your note for that?
My note 1,400 a month.
Okay. And what's that about 6 years? You took out a 6 year,
5 years. Yeah, 5
5 years.
years. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you bought the truck. You got it from which market did you get it from?
Ended up getting it from Pensacola, Florida, because it
Okay.
was about 2 hours away from me. I probably could have got for cheaper in another state, but I just didn't feel comfortable buying some, blind. So I had to just drive it back home somewhere I can go get it. Yeah, but the next truck I get, I'm gonna be looking to get that mug cheaper and get a Hino or something, but
Hmm.
it is what it is. It is
And
what
what
it
month
is.
was this when you bought the
But
truck?
this was June 30th,
June of
something like that.
2023. All right. So you bought the truck.
Yeah.
Then what?
So once we bought the truck, we we were super excited. I ain't gonna lie. The first thing I went and did was I went and got me some business cards made. I went and got me some flyers. And the first thing I did was go around to the warehouses in Tallahassee, and I just went knocking. I went handing out my cards. I went introducing myself. And then as I was doing that, I had my mom and my dad. They were getting the truck prepared as far as getting the DOT number on the side. Then I went ahead and got my company logo on the side of the truck as well. Um, and then once we kind of got set up, because I don't think a lot of people know, like there are certain things you got to get on your truck before you start running. Because I thought we were just gonna be able to get the truck and put them numbers on the side and run the same week. But the numbers have to be a certain way. They got to be a certain height. You have to have reflective stickers on the side and on the back of the truck. So I'm just and all of this stuff sounds simple, but it took us like a week just to really get all those things in place because it took the vinyl company like 2 to 3 business days to make it and then slap it on the truck. So, and we had just put pretty much like 9K in as far as from paying for the authority, down
Hmm.
payment on the insurance, and buying all the equipment. So just here to tell everybody when Mark be telling y'all or telling us 3 months of working capital, that is very, very, very essential because honestly it started getting harder from here. So wasn't getting no traction. Um, I would one day I recorded it. I talked to 10 people and nothing came out of it. Did it the next day, talked to 6 people, nothing came out of it. So at this point, I had got on DAT load board, and that was, whew, hey, that was rough. All I gotta say is,
Why was it
if
rough?
you're
Talk
a
about it.
new, yeah, this here is crazy. So if you're a new authority, you're going to hear no 90% of the day. You're going to get turned around 90% of the time, and the only company that's going to accept you is TQL. And people talk bad about TQL. I agree. They have rude brokers at times, and their rates are kind of bad for sure. But I just really just embrace that because I know that this is temporary. So I got on there and I started running with TQL. Now the thing about it was, when you're limited to one broker per se, it's kind of hard to really make that 3 to 5 thousand a week like you hear people making. as a new authority, it's essential that you have that 3 months of working capital, because for the first 2 weeks, I was only able to get probably two loads. Like first 2 weeks of actually, okay, my bags are packed, I'm about to run. I was only able to get like two loads. Part of that is because I was trying to stay in my region, if I'm being honest. I was trying to stay in Florida, Georgia area, and the whole nine. But I ain't gonna
Mhm.
lie, when you first get into this space, you're gonna have to just go, baby. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to run. You're gonna have to be up in Maryland. You're gonna have to go up to Indiana. And so it was rough because I was hearing no a lot and I had no idea how to dispatch. But one thing that I understood was numbers. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, if we already are forced to run at like $1.35 a mile, $1.40 a mile, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be able to pay a dispatcher 8%. It just wasn't gonna happen. Eventually down the line, I may, just because it's easier to not have to drive and dispatch. But right now, cutting that man out. I'm putting that whole 8% back into the business. So then I would say when you're a newer person, um, the freight industry, the transportation industry, you kind of have to learn how to communicate with the brokers, and you kind of have to learn not to take nothing personal, and you got to understand like time is money. So when you get on there, calculate your rate per mile before you even get on the phone, because they can tell when you're doing all that. They can tell when you're not sure. They could tell when you knew. They could tell when you're desperate. And I ain't gonna lie, they was killing me. They was hanging up on me. They was saying, "No, sir, we cannot go up." They were just being flat out. I'll just say blunt. I can't even call it rude. They just know you knew, and you coming in here talking about $2 a mile because we're hearing that on YouTube and whatnot, and them folks hanging up on you. And I want to definitely commend you for saying that, it's no such thing as cheap freight. It's more so competitive freight. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting here trying to get $2 a mile my first 2 weeks, and I was trying to stay in the Florida Georgia market, and hence I got two loads, but that truck load coming, and I done already put 9,000 in. So you really gotta lose all of the you really gotta lose all of the standards that you hear on YouTube. You're gonna have to lose that. And I'm here to tell you that in the first 3 months, you just gotta go through the fire. You're gonna have to take loads you don't like. You're gonna have to run. But you just gotta make sure you got enough money to cover your business and cover your living expenses to a point that makes sense. But so naturally I started getting the hang of it, and my first full week I was able to do like 3,500. But I'm running though. All right, I'm running. I'm running. I'm probably driving like 8 hours a day at this point, because my game plan was, if I can just get if I can just get 800 to 1,000 a day on average, I can get close to 4,000 a week. So that was my game plan. I'm trying to take not super long trips, but trips that'll pay me 8 to 1,000. And I'm not like dilly dabbling. No, I'm driving, I'm getting there, I'm dropping that morning, and I'm actively looking for more loads on my way to that drop. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. So I came into the game thinking I was gonna be able to buy hotel rooms from time to time, in enjoy certain new cities. You're not gonna be able to, bro. You're not gonna have the money. Well, I don't know, for some people. If you really save 3 months of working capital, you can enjoy this whole experience with a lot less stress. But me, I'm sleeping in my truck, cutting costs. So, um, but yeah, once I started to get comfortable, now I will say this: I love it. Starting off, I had just got into the logistics business just to make capital for my other businesses. But to be honest, I see myself doing this for 5 to 10 years and eventually letting it run itself. and removing myself completely from it. But that's my little spiel so far. That's my little spiel so far.
So June you bought your truck, and so you had a tough time. So let's say you bought your truck June 30th. So you really didn't get no traction in July, right?
Mm-mm.
Not too much traction in August, right? And it's September
Actually,
now. Go ahead.
August, August was August was my first month of traction.
Okay.
Yeah. So this past month of August, we grossed 11,000,
For the whole
which
month?
yeah, yeah, because what I didn't really realize is, it was weeks where I was making 3 to 4 thousand, but logically, I wasn't running every week of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying
So
you making 4,000 a week, but that don't necessarily mean you making 16 a month
so you made 11,000 last month gross. So you was averaging about
gross.
about 2,700, 2,600 a week or something like that gross. 25, well 25,
Yeah,
25 is 10, so a
yeah,
little over 2,500 a week.
yeah. Once you divide it up, excuse me, and
So
split it out over the whole month, yeah.
so
But
so let
but
me
the thing
so
was like, go ahead,
go
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 ahead.
no go ahead go you got it you got it.
Nah, I was just saying like the weeks. So I still wasn't kind of getting traction. I really made the adjustment probably like August 10th to where I was like, okay, I'm not coming home until I hit these numbers, and I'm going far trips. So when I started doing that, I had 2 weeks where I generated 3,500 one week. Then the next week I generated 42. But that's the thing when I'm saying like I really didn't get going until probably the second week of August.
Let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
second week of
Let me
August.
ask you this. So you
Uh,
doing straight OTR, right?
yep.
Hit that like button, y'all. We got 60 some people in here. We got 39 likes. Let's hit that like button. So you doing OTR, you running over the road. It sounds like you doing one pick, one drop. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are right. You are correct.
All right, so that's where your issue is at. Because when you
Yeah,
said you
it
looking for
is.
long trips doesn't always necessarily, that's not the answer to more capital. You want to you want to make as much money, right? With putting the least amount of wear and tear on yourself and on your equipment as possible. So, I heard you say, I didn't want to interrupt you. You said, man, you looking for long trips. That's not always the answer. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Uh uh you need to start partialing your truck. You
I
need to
agree.
start partialing your
I
truck
agree.
um ASAP.
Yeah.
Um I know you're new, you know what I'm saying? I know you're young. Uh but you got to run more efficiently. You can
Yeah.
make double that. You can
I
make
agree.
double what you're making if you run more efficiently.
I agree.
Um,
And go ahead.
no, go ahead. I
Oh,
just go ahead. You got it.
oh no,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. 100%. And that's part of the reason why I want to come on here because I have had some, I'm not gonna say success, but I have been able to start generating some capital. But at the end of the day, I want to learn from anybody on this live, you, Kirk, anybody that comment, just how I can run better. And I did have about 2 loads to the point where I was able to partial some with it. So I was trying and I was doing it some, and I definitely see the benefits of it. But the only thing that's hard about partialing as a new authority is that you're limited with the brokers you can work with. And so you may find a load that finally works. You may find a
Mhm.
load, let's say you went from Florida to Maryland, and And so you may finally find a load that's kind of along the route that's not too
Mm-hmm.
far out of the way. But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? They're gonna tell you no. They're gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
nope, your authority's too new. So, and I had reached out to you. I appreciate you for that. And you had contacted me with Kurt. And I want to take this little moment to say shout out to Kurt because I know both of y'all be busy and I know Kurt run over the road, but yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
still found time to call me one morning and he gave me his link and he just gave me a little advice over the phone and he didn't have to do that. So I definitely appreciate him for that. And I am gonna link up with you, Kurt. But only thing I was thinking is, well, my plan was to link up with Kurt once my authority aged to 3 months, which will be October 1st. Because once I learn the strategy, which it ain't, I don't think it'll take me long because I'm gonna study it and I'm a quick learner. But in the same
Mm-hmm.
breath, like I still can't get around not being able to work with, you know, a vast amount of a vast amount of brokers.
Why haven't you
So
tapped in with Kirk yet?
I mean,
Why do you
like
want to wait?
go
I'm
ahead.
just curious to know what the why you saying you want to wait?
Oh, the reason why I want to wait is because I don't have a lot of brokers that are to choose from. So
We got
that's what I'm
brokers
saying.
for
Like,
you. We got brokers for you. We did a whole. You must have missed that live because
yeah,
it's on members only. Where we
no,
got.
I had
So
I had
you
seen it.
contacted all those brokers?
Uh, no, I
Nope.
contacted Eco Logistics. Now I'm gonna be honest, cause I'm gonna be a man.
That
I have not contacted.
we didn't get that. We
Um,
didn't get eco logistics. We did a live about 3 weeks ago where we gave a bunch of names and numbers. You must have missed that
yeah,
live. So this is what we're gonna do. Because I'm going to sponsor 3 people to get partial training from Kirk. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay him. So, but
that's tough.
it's gonna be. I'm just not gonna randomly pick it. You're gonna have to do some work. There's going to be,
Mm,
you're going to have to submit something. I'm not just going to randomly pick 3 people because I want people that are going to actually take advantage of the opportunity to learn. So I haven't decided how I'm going to structure it because it's going to be in a contest format. You may have to submit a business plan or something. The best business plan wins the top 3. But I'm gonna sponsor because partials is very important now, because that's how people that are running that middle mile OTR lane are gonna be able to maximize their earning. You got to know how to do that
mm,
right now. So what I want to do from the kindness of my heart, and I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna sponsor 3 people to get that partial training. So everybody be on the lookout for that because I'm gonna post what you're gonna have to submit, and then whatever I need, I'm just gonna pick the top 3, and then I'm gonna shoot Kirk the bread, and then those 3 lucky winners will get that partial training. So just stay in tune, but you're gonna have to start partial in that truck, bro. eleven
for sure,
thousand
for sure.
is we know you starting off, but you could make twice the amount. You could make twice that, bro. You could make twice that,
Okay,
bro.
okay,
How hard are you
for sure.
running? Are you running hard or like give us a so what's the farthest trip you've taken? What's the farthest
All
trip
right,
you've taken?
I had prepared before this, so I've
Okay.
I've logged every trip. I've logged every trip that I've done, and I got the miles, the location, the rate per mile, and I ain't gonna lie, some of these rate per miles are downright ugly. So that's why I'm knowing that I need the partial.
Well,
But
let's get into what's the longest trip you've taken. I want to know what's the farthest trip you've taken, and I want to know what you ran it at.
okay, the furthest trip I took was I guess it was a tri haul. Um, it was with TQL, excuse me, and it picked up in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and I had 2 stops in Myrtle Beach, and then I had to go from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to Maryland, and then from Maryland back to Cape Canaveral. That was a total of 1,900 miles, and I started that one on August 21st, and I was back by August 24th. Now, that was the one load that I was able to partial on my way back. And I instantly see, if I could do this right, I instantly see how or why Kirk and you stress this to drivers out here, because that load ended up paying me 2,500. That was what TQL wanted to pay me, right? So
Mm-hmm.
once I had dropped off all the other stops, and this was Thursday. By Thursday, I had dropped off everything, and I was in Maryland, and I didn't have to report back to Cape Canaveral until um, Monday, Monday or Tuesday, I believe it was, whatever. So I had waited in Maryland, and then I caught me a partial coming from Maryland to Orlando, Florida, which is like an hour from Cape Canaveral, and that ended up paying 900. So that's when I was like, okay, this is what Kirk and Mark is saying. Like, especially if you're going far. Now, I definitely understand the concept, but I haven't been able to execute it in all transparency.
Mm-hmm.
But because on my way back, I was able to grab that load for 900, and then I ended up grossing what's that 3,300 opposed to 2,500, and I'm coming the same way. So that's really how you maximize the
Mm-hmm.
truck. But like I said, I've been trying to execute it, but I didn't tap in on that brokers list. And I'm gonna be real, I seen it. Um, I definitely seen it, but I just didn't do my due diligence, and I just definitely didn't reach out, but I will though.
Shout out to E Double for the super chat. E Double says you need a dispatcher and a mentor. A dispatcher and a mentor. I think I kind of understand your plight as far as, probably holding off with Kurt. You probably your working capital is probably limited. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't want to invest into it, right? Is that is
Yes,
that one of the
that's
main
yeah,
reasons?
no, yeah. I'm gonna be real. Like it ain't much really left over, really, because like I explained, I'm limited with the brokers I can use. Um, so it's like when I do get ready to partial, because I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to partial, and part of me, I can't be as stubborn because I'm the type of guy where I'm gonna teach myself. You know what I'm saying? I know I could teach myself. I'm gonna try it first, and I'm just being real. But that has helped me in the past, and I also understand like when it's time for me just to reach out to somebody else. So my plan was to try it until October 1st. By then, the business would have some money in the maintenance fund, just in case something break. By then, I would have more working capital, and also my business would have hit that 3 month authority age mark. And then I would have more brokers to choose from when I'm prepared to partial. But um, some of these are really excuses because Kirk got lists of brokers, and I know Kirk could help because,
DM me tomorrow,
like I
man.
said,
DM me tomorrow,
yes, sir.
man. DM me tomorrow. I'm gonna look out for you, dog. Just don't
For
let
sure.
because
I
because I don't the last person that I'm listening to you. You know what I'm saying, and I could tell you, you come from a good background. Your mother and your father and your life, they still married together, right? Your mother is a
yeah,
principal. My mother is a
they are.
retired public school teacher. So,
Yeah,
just because of that, I'm listening to you talk. You sound, you speak real articulately. I think if
appreciate it.
if I, because Kirk wants his money, so if I, you know, you know, if I if I if if I look out for you,
You ain't gonna
the
regret it,
only
dog.
thing you need to repay me is you need to win.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna tell you how I say. I'm gonna tell you.
Because
I'm gonna
because
tell you that right now.
the last person let me down tremendously.
Nah, nah, that ain't. That's one thing I tell you. That ain't me. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You're
That's
25,
not me at
right?
all.
You don't have
Yes,
any
sir.
children, right?
No kids.
Do you
And
do
another
you
thing, go ahead.
go ahead Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead,
Do you
cause I
live on
feel like
do
you
you
about to be.
do you live on your own?
So that's a yeah. So I had bought my first property when I was 22, and I was staying there, but
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, okay, I was running my other businesses with investing. I'm like, I need more capital to invest, so I ended up renting my house that I stayed at to travel nurses to free up more money. So that property is paying for itself and bringing me a profit of about 800 a month. Then I moved back in with my parents, and they
Smart,
allowed me to stay here, and I'm grateful for that. Thank
smart,
God for that every day, because I know a lot of
smart,
people don't have that. Yes, sir.
smart, smart.
So
Okay, so
that's that. Go ahead.
your living expenses are not that much because you're living at home, right?
Hmm.
So you just need
Hmm.
to work. You just need to hit the road work, like they're saying in the chat, and I 100% agree with E Double and Andrew and everybody else that's saying it. I think you just need to get up under someone's covering that has relationships. I think Kirk would be uh, good for you, and he can utilize his relationships in order to run your truck. But like you got to win though, bro.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. If you and Craig help me, bro, I may touch an M. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest, cause I
You
know
not
how I
gonna
work.
touch it. You not gonna touch your M, bro.
Nah,
Not in
I
one
ain't.
truck.
Listen. No. Of course not. I'm not
Okay,
saying like
that's not,
I'm. I'm
let's not
saying
get.
10
Oh,
years from now.
okay, don't get excited. What did I say in that
Cause
other
I
video? We gotta take
take
small
it.
wins.
Yes,
Small
sir.
wins. Don't get too
Yes,
ahead of
sir.
yourself now. Don't get too ahead of
Yes,
yourself.
sir. I feel that. I
Small
feel that for
wins.
sure,
Let's
bro.
turn that 11 a month into 20. Cause
Yes, sir.
that's a little
That's
bit
the
more
first step.
attainable. That's a little bit more
Right.
attainable. Quicker.
Right.
We can do that in a
Yes,
short
sir.
span of time. And then we'll,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying, we'll okay. All right, so we're
Yes, sir.
gonna we're gonna make sure you DM me in the morning so that I
Okay.
can, you know, go through the proper channels and do what I need to do as far as getting you set on the right path. So that leads us to September, right? Which is now. Which how are you doing this week? What are you looking like? What did you do last week?
So, the whole time I was going over the road, I was going on Indeed, how you suggested. I was contacting the contact that you put on there for T-Force and members only. So I was
Mm-hmm.
still doing a lot of work um on the back end because my main priority is to get something dedicated. So
Mm-hmm.
that was always my business plan to get something dedicated by month 6. So
Mm-hmm.
I was still emailing people, I'm still calling people, and so I'm still going OTR, but I had some stuff starting to pop up. I actually had a interview today with Pace, and I don't know if you're familiar with them, but Pace owns a lot of the accounts around my area, about an hour away. It's the warehouse where they got all the freights about an hour away. So I went on that interview, got signed up with them. But as far as OTR, September, let me go to it, answer your question. Um, in September, the first week of the month, I'm running, but my rate per mile is low. Like I'm just going to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
the first load I did in September drove a total of 900 miles, $1.41 a mile. Um, Now this what I want to mention now. I did have a little spell where I was trying to partial. Okay, so check this out. I grabbed a load from LaGrange, Texas, going to Valley, Alabama. It was a partial load. It was one pallet, and it was paying $1,000 for 800 miles. But the problem was when I was trying to partial, I couldn't get nothing else. So ultimately, I ended up getting stuck. Now I just ran um, 800 miles for $1,000, which that ain't gonna cut it. So ultimately I was like, you know what? For now, in all transparency, let me just do this one pick, one drop. Let me grind up this money. Let me let my authority age, and then I'm gonna get with Kirk and listen to everything he tell me. So that's been my game plan. Must be OTR or
As OTR, right? Is that ultimately what you want to continue to do, or are you looking to transition at any point into something else?
nah. I mean, I'm definitely looking to transition into final mile
Curbside,
or
right?
curbside delivery. Yeah,
Have
or curbside delivery or go ahead.
Have you looked at TQL as far as the HD supply contract?
I haven't contacted TQL. I didn't even think that they had a final mile department, which that's crazy because all these logistics companies do. But I didn't reach out to TQL, but you know what? I want to
Why
write
don't you
that down.
reach out to TQL and inquire
Okay,
about the HD supply contract, and all the other companies that I talk about that have contracts. Reach out to uh uh it's a contact for T Force in my community on YouTube. The recruiter, call her, tell her I sent you, and see what opportunities they have in your market as well.
okay, okay. So I had called T Force, and the closest opportunity that they had for me was in Savannah. And because, how I told you previously, because I'm staying with my folks, I was like, okay, if this contract is paying good enough, I wouldn't mind relocating up there, but the numbers gotta be right. And ultimately she called me with a contract coming out of Savannah, Georgia, and I think it was paying 3,500 a week, and I would have needed a helper. So my problem has been finding good opportunities in my market in Tallahassee, Florida. That's been a little bit of a struggle. I had a Lowe's contract that I think me and you briefly talked about it one night on one of the videos. They was trying to pay me 3,800 a week for a 7 days a week contract, and I had to have a helper, and it was appliance installation. So once I did them numbers, that was like nah.
You know your market is tough. You did your business
Yeah,
plan. You had to submit it to your parents, right? So was there a market
yeah.
analysis in that business plan?
Yes, it definitely wasn't market analysis, and the one company that I was banking on was R&L Carriers. So I had went up there, I sent them my application, and they responded quick. Now I was happy about that, but they said
Yeah,
authority got to be
9 months,
9 months. So
right?
I quickly
So
figured that.
who
Yeah,
did you talk to at T Force? Was it Julia?
I can't remember the lady name. I can't remember the lady name, but I had
Yeah.
ultimately told her she was like, well, I kind of like how serious you are. I'm gonna call my recruiter in the Florida market and see if they got anything to help you out. Ultimately, she ain't called back, but it is what it is. Um, so that didn't pan out.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna try to get you with Kirk so you can try to get that truck moving and maximizing your earning potential a little bit
Mm,
uh better. And then as far as final mile, I would keep reaching out to the contacts that I put out there and keep trying. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're in a transition right now of seasons. So like Home Depot, a lot of that influx of freight that a lot of curbside final mile carriers were seeing for the past 4 or 5 months, a lot of that freight was seasonal freight. So patio stuff, bricks, rocks, stubble, things that go outside, sod, whatever. All that stuff is pretty much done because we're going into the fall season. So it's a transition period right now, but the freight's going to pick back up um, next month going into November for that curbside final mile. So just keep contacting them. But let's take a few questions. You want to take a few questions?
Yeah, that's cool. Um,
Uh, Let me see. Let me see. I know I saw a bunch of. Mark asked him what is the level of his box truck. He said level one. What are the different levels? So the different that's just DOT level inspections. So the same 1, 2, and 3. So the difference is DOT level inspection 1, DOT level inspection 2, and then 3 does not, DOT level inspection 3. But the way they set it up on Penske is, hold on, I'll show you. Uh, it's just meets DOT level 1 inspection. So, the same thing you would go through when you get a level inspection by a DOT, they do it. So it meets the DOT level inspection 1, meets the DOT level inspection 2, meets the DOT level inspection 3. Obviously, level 1 is the best. So that's the ones that you kind of want to go for. Those level 3 trucks are kind of like, you want to bring your mechanic. You want to bring your mechanic for all of them. But the level 3 usually are the ones that they don't want to invest the money into, right? So they let you know this is level 3, inspect it. Usually those trucks are a little bit cheaper. Usually those trucks are a little bit older. So E double says, shout out for the super chat. E double says, buy a duplex house hack, rent second unit, move out. He's telling you how to
I
house
feel
hack.
I feel that
Uh,
for
Let
sure.
me see. Let me see if there was some questions here. Oh, Kirk is in the building. Hey,
Kurt.
Kurt. Kurt. Kurt. Hey,
Kurt,
Kurt.
here we go. You gonna keep it funky with
I
me?
know. I'm curious. I'm curious. I've never done this before, but I'm curious to hear if he got some insight. Kurt, you got the link. I ain't gonna drop it. You already got the link. If you want to come up and give some insight to the young man, call in. I'll let you up. I'm not gonna drop it publicly because I know you got it. So if you don't call in, then I know he won't come up. But let me see what these questions is. Let me see. Uh, mm, let me see. It was a bunch of questions earlier. Let me see. Is that the guy that went to Cali, Mark? No, this is not him. He is out. The guy that went to Cali, that was the last trip. Anybody got questions for Justin? Anybody got questions? Drop them in the chat now, please, 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 please. Drop the questions in the chat. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll back up to the top. Uh, 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 Somebody said checking freight forces in your city. I'm contracted with them, making 6 to 7,000 every 2 weeks, 300 to 400 in fuel weekly local. So
That's tough.
freight force, check to see if it's in your city. Big Zoe
That's tough for me.
says, well, hold on, let me see. Trapped in a box says, what's the clearance and width on your box trailer? Do you have air ride?
Uh, Let me.
Hit that
So
like
the
button,
so the
y'all.
clearance.
Mm-hmm.
So the clearance on my box truck is pretty much as high as you can get it with a roll up door. I measured it and I think it's 101.
Okay.
I just say 100 to be safe, and the width is I can't remember exactly, so I don't want to lie, but I got it on my phone. I got the width on my phone as well, and it does have air ride.
It has air ride.
So
All right.
uh-huh.
What did you put? Let me see. All right, let me see. Um, how many money you have made in profit? How much money have you made in profit? Have you profited? Are you
So far,
operating at a loss?
technically, to be real, operating on a loss because I haven't got my 8K that I put in. but
Mm.
so I'm still in the red from a startup perspective. But from a month to month, like what I got left in cash flow, because I did do my research and I got in with a somewhat low overhead, I was profitable still. Because I dispatched my own loads and I only paid myself 20%. Um, I think we ended up doing 400 in profit that month.
What
The
month
month
is
from
this?
August, from August 7th to like September 5th. So it's not it's not
So
gravy, but I'm alive.
for that month, you covered your variable and your fixed costs, right? You were
Mhm.
able to pay yourself 20%, which equaled out to what?
So I was paying myself per week. So it's because it was varying so like the week that I made 3,200, I paid myself 800. The week that I made
Wait.
4,200
When you said you made 3,200, you
gross.
gross.
Gross, you're
So
right.
out of that 3,200, you say you got your books in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So out of
Yep.
that week you made 3,200, how much of that
Right.
was cost?
We did 1,500 in diesel. And then the truck note and insurance, if you break it
Hold on, hold
down
on.
per week,
Hold on. You said you made 3,200, right?
yeah, gross 32.
All right. And you said you did 1,500 in diesel?
Yeah.
All right. What
And
else?
then if you break down the truck and insurance, that will come out to $355 a piece. The truck notes $355 and the insurance $355 if you divide 1,400 by 4. It's like 14 and some change. So that's pretty
So,
much the breakdown. So 1,500 plus that, like what, 700.
so,
I ain't got no calculator.
so, 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 your fuel, your insurance, your truck note. What about your other costs? You ain't got no other costs, no tolls, nothing.
Tolls.
You didn't take a shower. You get a hotel
No,
room.
nah. So
You got
I'm gonna tell you
all
this.
this is
All right.
cost. Did you eat?
Okay.
Did you eat?
You right. You right. I did eat.
All right then.
I did eat. So me, especially at first, when I take my showers, I have a membership at Planet Fitness, the black membership. So my whole thing was, all right, after you then ran a day, find you the nearest Planet Fitness, and they're pretty much all around the nation. I'll go in there, work out, shower, and I'll sleep in the truck. So that ain't pretty, but I made it work. And then as far as food, I would go to Walmart and buy like sandwiches. I got me a little cooler, and I would pretty much eat sandwiches, drink me a protein shake, and the only meal. So that was running me like $35 a week, but I was eating like dinner. So
So you eating for
um,
$35 a week?
yeah, cause I'm wait no. I'm saying breakfast and lunch. I'm spending 35 a week, and then the only meal I was like buying out is dinner. So I would go to like Longhorn or something like that, spend like $16.
A
So
day.
once those all
A
had,
day.
every now and then, I ain't go all the time.
Man, how much
What?
do you
So
spend a day? Man, how much are you? Come on, man. You ain't $35 a week now.
nah, I'm saying listen to how I'm breaking it down. Two
Okay, I'm
meals.
listening.
This this was my whole game plan. I'm gonna buy me some protein shakes. That's gonna be my breakfast, and I'm gonna drink some water, and I'm eating some bananas. That's usually the breakfast. Hey, you laugh, you laughing? What I gotta do, bro? It's what I gotta
I know.
do.
I
It's what I gotta
salute you.
do.
I
It's
salute
what
you.
I
It's just
gotta
the way
do,
you
bro.
said it, man. I'm gonna drink some water, man. Shoot,
So I'm
you
gonna
like
drink some water.
you you eat
Hey,
you. I hear you. I hear you, man. Do what you got to do.
I
I ain't
gotta
knocking
do.
it. It's just the way you said it. So, okay, you
Hey,
taking showers at Planet Fitness. You eating sugar
that's 20 a
bread.
month.
and you drinking water. you, you eat sugar bread, you drinking
Yeah.
water. Hey, this is a lesson for
So
people to learn. I did a whole
I'm
live
being
on
real.
cutting costs. So, I mean, if you got to
Got
go buy
to.
you a big jar of peanut butter and a big jar of jelly and a loaf of bread
Yeah.
and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, goddamn it,
Yeah.
then that's what you got to do. It is what it is. So, uh,
That's what I mean.
but I'm trying to get down to, you said 3,200 minus your two largest expenses, and then you're fixing your variable, and then your fuel, that leaves 990. So without everything else, tolls, food, I know you spent money other places. Something you did something, man. You bought something. I mean, if you didn't, then God bless you.
Nah,
But even still,
I'm
that
telling
leaves
you, only
990. That leaves 990. So you
yeah.
pay yourself $800 out of that 1,000. Let's just round that to 1,000. And you left 200 for
So
working
that
capital. I mean, for
I'm a,
cash
I'm
flow.
a,
I mean,
I'm gonna be real. That's probably where I'm going wrong because I'm taking 20% of gross. I need to be taking 20% of uh what's left after the weekly expense.
out of that
So
thousand,
that
I would have took so out of that 990, I would have took about a third,
a third. So yeah,
about
that is
333,
how it gotta be. That
because
is how it gotta be.
you took 80%. You not allowed. You gonna operate at a loss. So you get you a good tax guy, and this is not something I tell people. And somebody tried to come at me for this, but I'm gonna get the secret away now. The reason why I tell people to put 33% once they deduct their expenses, right? And before you pay yourself, so once you cover your variable and your fixed cost, right? And everything in between, all your miscellaneous stuff, whatever's left. So let's say after you ate and did everything, $1,000 was left. I tell people to start putting 33% aside. 33% is on a higher scale of the tax. Usually you're gonna pay somewhere around 25% once you become profitable. If you have a good tax person, you know how to write things off. This, that, and the third. Here go Kurt. And
Mhm.
but the reason why I
Yes,
want
sir.
people to get adjusted to doing that is so that they don't run into trouble when they do start showing money. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do operate at a loss, that money could just go back into the pot as cash flow. You see what I'm saying? So with $1,000 in your instance that you had left, you paid yourself 80% of that. And if anything were to happen in the business would have enough capital in the reserve to cover it. The business should be making more money than you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because the
Right.
business, the cost of operation, something could happen at any given moment. So in order to increase your pay, you're gonna have to increase your revenue. Your expenses are low. You don't really have to pay yourself that much to live, but you need to increase your revenue because even paying yourself a third of that 1,000 is about $333, which is not. A person can go, stand on a corner and act like they homeless and beg and probably make more than that a week. You dig what I'm saying? So, and I ain't
For
being
real
funny.
though.
I'm keeping it 1,000 out
Nah,
with you.
for
You
real.
dig what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
So,
For sure.
you need to increase. You would need to increase your capital because you don't want to rob from the sustainability of business. Because one situation that week, it could have even been a tire. A tire is going to cost you more than $200.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree.
So, so you know,
100%.
by you, the point that I'm trying to make is it's the same thing I said when I've told bits and pieces of 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 my story. I just paid my cell phone bill. Me personally, I'm not telling you what to do, but in your situation, you got $1,000. You paid yourself 8. That's too much. That's too much anyway. You know what I'm saying? In your situation, because I would take a
Mm,
third of that. You want to reinvest as much money back into the business initially.
mm.
You want to invest that money. Now, you living at the crib.
Right. You right. You right. It's
You
the best
already
time.
making the ultimate sacrifices. You eating sugar bread and sugar water. What you need $800 for?
You right though. You right though. I can't eat. You right.
What you
You
need
right.
$800 for? You drinking sugar water and eating peanut butter bread.
Ultimately, I'm probably trying to. Ain't no probably. Ultimately, I'm rushing the process. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta increase my capital for taking that much. I agree. I agree.
So Kurt, what up?
So man,
What's up,
Did you
Kurt?
get a
What's
chance
up,
to
Kurt?
did you get a chance to listen to him early as far as how he operating?
now I just came in and I heard when he was saying that he was saying that he was paying himself and and the
T-
partial that he was trying to do and all that stuff.
yeah, he been running one pick, one drop.
Yeah, I spoke to him. He's from Florida, but you know, guys like him from Florida, we have a special remedy for them because when he leaves the state of Florida, you know, because Florida is not a market that produce a lot of freight coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a lot of money going in, but not coming out. Um, his radius once he get out, you know, like people were saying in the chat, you just gotta run. But we gotta for people that live in Florida, there's a different way you gotta deal with them because the thing with people with Florida that lives in Florida, um, they just by getting out of Florida, their deadhead is higher and then they don't necessarily make no money coming out because the rate pay way less than any other state. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
whatever, if it costs him $350 to come out of Florida to get to Atlanta, or $400, then once he get out, we got to utilize all, you know, the price that we can get in the freight. You know, if he let's say he goes somewhere and they have to do a detention, tonal, all of that stuff. You get what I'm saying? Um, but also when he comes, you know, we got to make sure that he's willing to run the radius and just keep giving him those type of load. You know what I'm saying? So I think with him, that first $500 just to come out, you know what I mean? It's 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 just gonna always be a hit. But once he makes that money going coming out and go back in, it's gonna become norm after a while. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna have
Yeah,
a problem with doing it like that.
yeah. Your numbers, like your breakdown. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not what it should be. You need to. Somebody asked something in the chat too. It I think it was 5 star. Yeah, there you go. How many miles did you drive to gross 3,200 and spent 1,500 in fuel?
I'll let you know, my brother. Um,
Hit
let's
that like
see.
button, y'all. Hit that like button.
That week, I need to use my phone for a second, but I ain't gonna. That week it was around 2,500. No, like 2,500, I think.
So you
Yeah,
saying you made 3,200
I'm
to run
trying to.
2,500 miles.
I need to check on my phone because that's where I got it all at. The total miles. I just kind of lost.
It doesn't sync with your iPad.
Let me see. Let me move this off the iPad real quick. I got you.
Where do you keep it at in the notes?
Yeah.
It should sync with your iPad then.
All right. So, so let's see. Yeah, I ain't got it on here. Let's see.
Isaac Andrews said, Mark, does
I
he have
need.
a family? Yeah, he lives at home with his parents. He doesn't have a family of his own.
I ain't got no
His mo-
family, bro.
his mother and his father is his immediate family, and he lives home with them, so he doesn't have too much living expenses. So he's able to reinvest as much money as possible back into the business.
Hold up.
We just waiting on him to
I can
get
tell you
that
right now.
number $3,200
I can
gross.
tell you.
Spent
I can tell
1,500
you
on
right now.
fuel.
Give me a second.
You know, because this show done turned into the numbers show, man. After episode 2, man, people, you know, the numbers police, man,
Uh-huh.
they gonna get you. So these
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
numbers,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
So check this out. I had ran 2,500 miles, and this what I was saying. My average rate per mile per load was $1.35. So that had came out to $3,375. So
so you ran
that's what it
2,500 miles
was.
that week. You ran 2,500 miles
Yeah,
that
bro.
week, and you grossed thirty two
Yep.
hundred. Yeah, man,
3375.
for 2,500 miles.
Yeah.
What you think, Kurt?
Yeah.
You the expert on this.
Yeah, and then you pay yourself $800 out of that.
After
Yeah,
after all his
20%.
exp after all his expenses, he had $1,000 left. He paid himself 800. It's too much.
Yeah, yeah,
Too much.
he's not making no money, and that's one pick one drop anyway.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing one pick one drop, the rates now is not like the pandemic rate. So if you come out here, you know, just DM Mark because I gotta be careful what I say on the internet. When I come on Mark Live, I got a set of people that watch what I say. You know what I'm saying? So just DM Mark and maybe we can sit down. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Mark.
What you talking? You ain't talking about the Pookie and Ray Ray stuff, are you?
No, no, no. After the last Natasha incident, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, 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 no. We not. We listen. For me to, he has enough common sense. I'm not saying she didn't, but he's already up and operational, bro. You see what I'm saying? And he
Right,
comprehends. He just needs the proper guidance. He comprehends.
right.
He just needs the proper guidance. You see what I'm saying? So I listened to his story. I listened to his background. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He has both parents at home. He's made smart decisions without someone telling him. He moved out of his crib and rented it out to turn that into a stream of income. Move back in. Just that right there. He's making the right decisions. He just needs the proper guidance. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Right.
So
need some help, man. I need some help because like right,
so
right, right now.
just
Look,
just DM me, bro. Just DM me tomorrow.
okay,
DM me
for
tomorrow.
sure, for
DM me
sure,
tomorrow,
for
bro.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole house thing is a good move. I think that he's making some sacrifice. He's working, but it goes back to what I was saying a few weeks ago. I think about a week ago. Watching me doing partial is easy on the internet, but actually pulling it off is not that simple, even though it's not that complicated. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because a lot of challenges that people will get into that they would think that is hard, it's really not hard. And I can give you some scenarios. Broker tell people that want stuff pick up today and deliver tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's just a lot of factor in that when people are trying to do partial, they don't put it into consideration. You get what I'm saying? And so if you try to grab too load, by the time you call the second broker, you're gonna get frustrated because both brokers are gonna tell you the similar same thing, and that won't deter you or just make you, turn off from doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Running them, what was it, $1,000 from Florida to Texas. We
yeah, I
normally
went.
call that
Yeah,
doing everybody a favor. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's
So
that's that's the thing. Like I'm trying to partial, and I did take some risks partialing, but like you just said, I had got stuck. where I got frustrated and the way they wanted me to deliver, it just wasn't adding up. And I wouldn't have made it in time. So I ended up getting stuck probably on 2 or 3 loads where I only got one pallet and I'm making $1.25 a mile after I have to deadhead. So that's eating into my rate per mile as well because I'm having to deadhead like every trip, 130 miles, 101 miles deadhead, 52 miles deadhead, 125 miles deadhead, and I'm doing one pit, one drop. So that's
Hmm.
that's why I watch y'all channel every night. That's why I'm reaching out to y'all. But I just ain't got a working capital right now, as we just found out to pay for the coaching and really lock in with you, because I
How
need
much?
more than just a,
How long
a
you been running?
consultation.
How long you been running? You've been running over 3 months,
Uh,
right?
no, my authority went active July the 11th, so I'm
I
right
got
at
Rock
2 months
Financial.
into
Rock
it.
Financial will be here tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow and ask them questions and see if they got something that they can offer you. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if you signed up yet because I see a bunch of people signed up, but I just know people for the most part their usernames. I don't really know a lot of people's real government names, so I only see government names. But tomorrow's live stream, they'll be here. So just make sure you come here, ask questions, and even if it's 3 months, you got about another month to go. So they may have a product for you, like a business line of credit, something that if you need money, it's sitting there. That if you need it, you can go touch it, and you only pay interest on what you pull from that line of credit. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah, so
that's.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm definitely gonna check that out because when I purchased my truck, like I said, I already had that rental property business and the car rental business. So what I ended up doing was I put that LLC as the parent company of the logistics company, so I can
Hmm.
get more funding from banks and whatnot. So I'm definitely gonna check that out because my business is 3 years age. So I'm hoping that they got something for me. But I definitely appreciate y'all. Just keep it 100% with me. I ain't gonna take it no way because I'm making every sacrifice I can. I'm renting my house. I'm renting my car too on Turo, so that's pretty much paying for itself as well. So I just gotta figure out ways to run more effectively and more efficiently until I can get a good dedicated final mile or curbside contract. But until then, I'm gonna make this over the road thing work when I can lock in with Kurt. Cause I don't mind working. I just gotta work more effectively and get more experience. So
Yeah, we're gonna set him up, Mark. I mean, you um, I think once you understand the partial part of it, I think you'll be good. You'll be all right. Um, but I don't mind share brokers and share information. You know what I mean, and help you sign up with brokers that I know. You know what I mean, and put you on and people that I know. You get what I'm saying? But
yes, sir.
once you get into understanding how the partial and the whole thing work, it's just gonna be a little bit easier. And deadhead, deadhead for one pick, one drop with all those mileage that you're doing, you know, it's gonna happen. You get what I'm saying? Um, I think one of the
Hmm.
go listening back to when you say you were getting frustrated because of the partial with the brokers and stuff like that. See, when I explain it to you, what you need to do when trying to get your second load, those frustration is gonna go away. You get what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: partial or not, brokers are here to please their customer. They're here to make their customer happy. You know what I'm saying? And so they're gonna do whatever it takes to make their customer happy. So what you gotta do is you gotta do what makes you and your company happy. You see what I'm saying? So if you gotta
Hmm.
set the rules that You have to set that rule so you're gonna so you can make the money so you be happy at the end of the week because the brokers are doing it. This is why you will find content creator will come on and said that they're doing dedicated partial. There's no such thing as dedicated partial. The freight either dedicated or not. If it's partial, something can go with it. If it cannot be pulled with something else, it doesn't consider partial, even if it's one pallet in the truck. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
once you understand those
Mm-hmm.
dynamic, if a guy said to me he needed to be there tomorrow at 12 o'clock and he's paying me $450, I'm gonna say you're taking up my old truck. You're gonna have to up that money. You get what I'm saying? And so once
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a dedicated freight, I'm gonna run it dedicated. You understand?
I got you.
But
Mm-hmm.
what I find with a lot of people is brokers are putting dedicated freight on their truck, telling them they want it delivered tomorrow. But when you look at their rate confirmation, it doesn't match. The description of the load and the requirement doesn't match the paycheck. And so I don't do those type of load. I'm the type of guy when I'm gonna give you an example. I had a mentee today call me, right? I'm training him the same thing we're talking about. And he called a company and they said, look, we can't use you. Your MC is too new. So I said, call him back. I said, call him and I'm gonna be on the phone with you. And the lady came on and she said, what's your MC number? And I gave her my MC number. The load was a dedicated load. What they were paying him was less than what they gave me. The load picked up on
Wow.
Friday. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
what I'm saying these things, and I let him listen in the phone call. You see what I'm saying? So once you get into those
Mm-hmm.
phone calls with me, all of those anxiety you have right now will go away. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? All of
Mm-hmm.
those questions that you have in your head and how to do this and how to do that, two phone call with me it will get rid of that. You understand?
Okay.
And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
they were offering $900. You see what I'm saying? And when I look at the rate, I mean, it was only 400 miles, 400 something miles. But when I look at the rate that it was paying plus the rate that I wanted because it was dedicated, I didn't get what I want, but I get more than what they were offering him. But it
Mm-hmm.
was more than what his cost per mile is and he's making profit. You understand? So once you understand those stuff, all those stuff will go away. But those stuff is gonna come by you listening to somebody doing it. See, the internet ain't gonna see. It's one thing when you watch the internet, but when you actually sit down and have a conversation with the person who is actually doing it and listening to the response of the people who you're going through the motion with it, it's a whole different experience.
Sure.
Because the guy on the internet gonna say, yeah, 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 I called a broker, yeah, yeah, yeah. But when you actually hear the broker on the phone telling you, nah, it can deliver Friday. Nah, you don't have to go tomorrow. They open Monday to Friday. Nah, you get what I'm saying? It's a different experience. And so every time I do it with my guys, they think I got something over brokers, but I just know what to say. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So once you get into a circle of people, just like I give out brokers information. Once you call and say Kirk said that, you 6 months, you 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. They'll sign you up because my issue with those people are good. I got a clean reputation. I don't damage your freight. I don't steal stuff. Nothing go missing. But when I put you guys onto those people, I'm putting my reputation on the line. You get what I'm saying? But I
Mm-hmm.
listen to people and I give them that shot. Just like Mark told you. I'm gonna invest in you, but you gotta win. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
just get with Mark and He'll take care of all your expense when it comes out to me. You know what I mean?
I appreciate y'all
So
100%.
you know what
E
I
double
mean?
said
So
E double. Oh, sorry, Kurt. E double said you can get Amazon loads out of Florida 600 every night, but he's not aged six. He's not aged 180 days yet. E double.
right.
So he won't be able to take advantage of anything that has to do with Amazon. But yeah, just DM me tomorrow, and then I'm pretty good on scouting people out. So Kirk, I don't know. Kirk was finna throw away a year.
This guy. You know, my wife get a beat today with that. With she get a beat today because of last night's show again. You know what I
I thought
mean?
you. I
And
thought
I'm
you
like,
said. I thought you said
no,
she. It was.
well, I'm talking about the girl. I'm talking about the girl.
Oh, that was on you, man.
And I'm like, I'm like, well, you see what happened? They still fail. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I think that listening to Justin, and I spoke to you briefly. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I don't do dispatching. I don't do dispatching. Um, in terms of services, you know what I mean? But I know I listened to you, and the first time I talked to you, you know, I know that you're a very effective guy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So yeah, you just once you understand it, once you hear those conversations, and once you understand it, it's gonna be easy. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. For sure. I appreciate
But
y'all
if
for
we,
sure.
but it, but if Mark and I invest in you now, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Don't go buy no damn L-cat.
Nah, nah, they ain't got. Look, just like Mark told you, I'm drinking water and eat sugar bread. I ain't buying no Hellcat. I
Sugar.
ain't buying no Hellcat, man. I ain't
Yeah,
buying no Hellcat, man. Nah.
that's another reason that I'm willing to bet on you because you're making a lot of sacrifices. I still don't know how you eating on
Right.
$35 a week. You know what I'm
I'm telling
saying?
you.
But I think
Once
that's
he
cap.
start to get
I'm
those,
telling you,
I
man.
think that's a little cap in
I
there.
told you.
I think it's a
I
little
told
cap
you.
in there. You know what I'm saying?
Breakfast and lunch, 35 a week.
Why the
That's
fuck
for
you
the whole.
lying? Why you always lying?
It was so new. I ain't never heard that one since I've been on.
I think it,
oh man,
I think it's a little
I
cap, in there
I ain't
somewhere.
never heard that was
With
I've been on.
them
I'm
expenses,
telling you.
I don't know, but I'm gonna take your word for it. But yeah, you making a
he
lot of
don't stay at
sacrifices. So
he don't stay at hotel.
nah, he sleep in his truck. He eat sugar bread. He eat peanut butter, no jelly. He spice up his water with. He takes sugar packets from the restaurant and just sprinkle the sugar packet in there to spike his water. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
it's
So
temporary, man. It's
I'm just I'm
temporary.
just I'm just
I
messing
didn't
with you.
ate
I'm
good.
just messing
Yeah,
with you, man.
I
I'm
feel
just
that
messing with you, man.
100%.
I'm just messing with you, man. But
100%.
yeah. But
What?
go
Once
ahead,
he
Kurt.
start rock with us, it'll be different. Once he start rocking us, it'll be different. We'll teach you the partial. You know what I mean. I think once you understand the partial and your radius, you'll be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll definitely give you that. Once you told me on one of your lives to change my radius, I started prioritizing staying in the Midwest, and even one
Hmm.
pick, one drop when you're coming out of Indiana, Kentucky, they are paying close to $2 a mile. So that helped me tremendously too, like tremendously. But I took one
Hmm.
load going a little too far back this way towards Florida, and I'm back to the BS loads. But the radius
Hmm.
definitely helps for anybody else who listening. You definitely abide by that radius for sure, for sure, for sure. That helped a lot.
Yeah, where in Florida you live again? Or where in Florida you stay at?
I live in Tallahassee, Florida, so I'm North Florida, so I'm like an hour from Alabama and like an hour from certain parts of Georgia, from like the tip of Georgia.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So once you get you once you get into Florida, you have to have that $350 for a box truck to at least deadhead. I go to Florida in
Hmm.
my semi with, let's say I go to Florida in my semi with $4,000 or $5,000, right? I might
Hmm.
stop in Jacksonville. I don't even waste my time stay there. I just bust a U-turn and come up. See what I'm saying?
Dang. Yeah.
And I'll spend that $500 to just fill up my tank and then just run up to Georgia for 9 hours. I mean 7 hours. You get what I'm saying? 6 hours.
Mhm.
And then once I get in Atlanta, I can start get my 3, 4 stops that I need to go to: Pennsylvania, Texas, Indiana, Kentucky, Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And if I'm and another thing I'm gonna tell you, and another thing I'm gonna tell you that you may want to look into. I know you're gonna reach out to Mark tomorrow, but you want to start looking load Tuesday and Wednesday, so you can load Wednesday, Thursday, and by Friday you're getting ready to leave, so you can run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over the weekend. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes
So we'll
sense.
teach you all of those stuff. You know what I mean? Because by Tuesday you'll be doing a reset, and if you're in a better area, you'll be just recycling the same thing over and over. And if you come out here to stay for 6 weeks, you can definitely rake up a lot of money. Just moving between Dallas, Pennsylvania, Georgia, back and forth up in Chicago and back. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So we'll teach you all of those stuff, man.
I
Don't worry,
appreciate
All
Mark
right.
that
got you.
100%.
Mark got you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you 100%.
no, I like them. I could tell when someone's genuine and they really want to do good. I'm not saying I'm not. I haven't extended my hand in May, June, July, August, September, about 5 or 6 months.
He said
So
somebody said he should use my authority to get Amazon. But see, when he used my authority, everything come to me.
So,
Maybe I should sign up on Amazon. Maybe I could sign up on Amazon and see what this whole Amazon thing is about.
but man, any more questions? Anything? Any last words? I know you wanted to get your testimonial. You really didn't. You really didn't have a long testimonial, but I still wanted to give you the opportunity, even though you've only been running a few months. And I'm glad you would come on here. And I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you was able to learn something. I'm glad we're gonna be able to, you know, help you. Hopefully, people learn from you, from your windfalls, your pitfalls. The time that you spent in the space. I think you need to get your numbers together. You say you got them together, but they ain't together. So get your numbers together.
Hmm.
I thought you would be the first person
yes,
to come on here with solid numbers, but get those numbers together, man. The
I got
math
you.
ain't mathing. It ain't mathing, man. I gotta keep it 1,000 with you. It ain't some
Right.
ain't some. I'm not saying it's cap, but some ain't right in there. Out other than the fact that you paying yourself too much with
Yeah,
what you
I'm paying
have
myself.
available to pay yourself.
Um, and tomorrow when I tap in with you, I'll definitely have it all. Cause one thing about it, I track it all. I got a
Mm-hmm.
QuickBooks, and I link all my cards to QuickBooks, so
Mm-hmm.
everything is there. I use the same cards for pretty much the same expenses, the same card for diesel, the same card for food expenses. So it's very easy for me to track it and see it on my QuickBooks. profile, but I'm willing to learn, and I ain't too proudful to say I don't know it all, and I'm young and I'm just trying to learn. That's my whole perspective towards it, and because I know this ain't no easy business to be in. This is by far the most challenging business that I have took on. It's just because you got to be very precise in the way you move, and it's a lot of money. Well, you grossing more money than I ever seen at a fast pace, but you don't want to be operating in the red or not maximizing the time that you're spending out here. So I'm definitely open to anything that y'all tell me. I just want to learn for real.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool. If there ain't no
we
more
got you,
questions in the
man.
chat, I see a bunch of questions. I see a bunch of questions in the chat, but unfortunately, this testimonial. So the questions I'm only gonna reserve is for him. Um, y'all gotta wait for like another day for like other type of questions. Um, let me see. I just make sure I got the super chats. I saw he does. Want to make sure I got his last super chat. Let me see. I think Kirk lost service. Maybe he hung up. Yeah, Kirk gone. Hold on. Let me get Kirk out of there. Let me get that. Boom. Shout out to Kirk for coming up.
Shout out to Kurt.
Yeah, yeah. That's a question for Kurt. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Big Zo said, "Keep pushing."
For sure.
Um, uh, keep pushing. Yep. So, man, you good, man? Just DM me tomorrow. I appreciate you coming up. Uh, um, any last words you want to leave for the people?
I guess the main thing that I just want to say is that number one, do your research as much as you can. Number two, put a solid team around you so your startup cost is low. Because even though that I'm not making a lot, the one thing I got going okay is that my cost is not extreme. I'm not renting. Um, but I will say definitely take heed to every little detail that you hear from Kirk and Mark because that startup capital is key. I kind of overlooked that keeping your books down to a T. I have it somewhat, but I'm nowhere near on the business level I need to be. So this is just a wake up call for me. So I tell anybody just surround yourself with people that's been in the business and be transparent, be vulnerable, and just don't make the same mistake twice. So that's pretty much my own spiel. And I appreciate y'all for giving me a time to come on here. And I appreciate y'all for what y'all do for the space. It's not many people like y'all out here. So I appreciate that 100%.
Appreciate you. I got one question though before I let you go, because I know you said your mother and your father were instrumental in you starting a business. Not as far as capital, right? You put up your own money, right? That you earned, right?
Yeah, for the most part, it was times like for the equipment, they gave me two to 3,000, but I'm paying them back. So and they not playing no games. So that's what I'm saying. I'm already like I want to get Kurt coaching,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really just a lot.
So
And
so
then
so so,
I'm
so
also managing. Go ahead,
uh-huh.
for sure.
So let me ask you this: with how involved is your mother and father in the actual business? How involved are they? There's a reason why I'm asking this. I'm
Not
just uh-huh.
Okay, not at all on the day to day. More so just life experience. So I come back and tell them, "Hey, I talked to this broker. I only got $1.40 a mile." They'll just be like, "Okay, you got to be firm." Just life
Okay.
experience comments,
Let,
but
let,
not the day to
let me
day
ask you this:
operation.
Where's your father's background? What does he do for a living?
He's been a police officer for the last 25 years,
And your mom's
and
a principal, right?
yes, sir, principal.
Why don't you ask them to manage the books for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Ask one of them or both of them to manage your books,
Okay.
and the money that's coming in, since they have vested interest in the business, it will probably, since they have vested interest in the business, it would probably do them good to manage the books for you so that they can ensure their ROI, return on investment, right? And I think
Mhm.
if you ask them to manage your books for you, I think you may come out a little bit better because um, that'll allow you to focus on, dispatching yourself, being on the road, and then they're handling the back end for you. You don't have to worry about that. They got you. Mom and daddy, they got you. But
I agree.
I
I agree.
think your books need to be tighter, and
For sure.
I think you have something that a lot of people don't have. Mama and daddy, what I'm saying, together. So
Yeah.
utilize
Yeah.
them. Utilize them to help you by just managing your books. They have vested interest already, so it would benefit them to help you. Just mention it to them. Can y'all help me manage these books? Let me go out and roll all the money that's coming in, the expenses. Can y'all manage this for me? See where I need to cut, so on and so forth, so you can focus on dispatching yourself, staying out, and running it up.
Yeah. For sure.
Ask them and
Uh,
let me know how that turns out for you. I think if you do that and they agree to it, I think you'll see some better results in the management of your books.
okay. Okay. For
Kirk, you
sure.
got anything? You got anything you want to say? Imparting?
Yeah, and I would say to you that if your mom do agree or your dad do agree, um, I will have my wife. She can sit down and explain to them how to set it up because we all do the same thing. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that. Yes, sir.
And,
I
I,
appreciate
and
that.
I'll have her sit down and walk them through how to set it up. So that way, every week when you bring in your money, you can, you know what I mean? Because even
Yeah.
the what factoring company you use?
I use OTR Solutions, and they charge them
O,
4%.
OTR. Okay, yeah. So it's the same thing. Do you factor every day or you factor every
Yeah.
week?
Fat every load, every day.
E- every time you deliver, you factor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So if you ask them and they say yeah, they'll do it. But you know, just reach out and then I'll have my wife sit down with either one of them or both of them and just set it up with them for you.
Okay.
Because
Look,
that's what
I
she
definitely
do.
appreciate.
You know what I mean?
look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
I
me ask you
appreciate
because
that, Kurt.
she been active in the chat on Facebook, and I know the YouTube people can't see this to help her. You gotta catch me when you catch me. My notifications is on. Wednesday I do testimonials. Thursday I do the rolling commerce, and then I usually do 2 to 3 pop-ups a week. You just gotta make sure your notifications is on Facebook and on YouTube. Look like you watching on Facebook, so I usually come on around 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Sometimes later. Sometimes I might come on at midnight. But my scheduled shows are 7 p.m. Wednesdays and Thursdays. The Wise Man starts back Monday, 7 p.m. So just make sure your notifications is on. Um yeah, so man, I appreciate you, Kirk. I appreciate you, Justin,
Yeah.
for your testimonial. Anybody that wants to do their testimonial, I think we booked out for the next week or two. But anybody that wants to get on the schedule for testimonial before the end of season 1, make sure y'all email me. The email is pinned to the top of the chat. Mark at thementormark.com, and we will schedule you. Don't hit me at the last minute. Make sure you hit me because I think I am booked up for the next two weeks, so we can get the image for the thumbnail and all that stuff. Tomorrow Rock Financial will be here, so make sure you guys are here. They're gonna present to you all their products, give you rundowns of all their products and services, terms, things of that nature. You'll be able to ask questions, and they'll be able to answer them. A lot of people have been hitting me up since last year about working capital. This is one of the companies that will work with you as long as you've been in business 3 months. and you can submit 3 months of your recent statements. You're going to need those 3 months because that's how they're going to be able to gauge how much money, if approved, that they are going to give you, because your future receivables are going to act as your collateral. All right. Lou Jackson is in the building. He says he can't wait for his testimony. I can't wait either, Lou Jackson. I can't wait either. So, so yeah. So go ahead, hit that email. So go ahead and hit that email. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, Lou Jackson, email me tonight. I swear to God, I will. You get VIP service, Lou Jackson. I'm gonna bump you to the front of the line. The front of the line. Whoever scheduled next week, if Lou Jackson hit me and I get that headshot, Lou Jackson going up next week. You better believe it. You better believe it. Lou Jackson is cutting the line. You dig what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody. And shout out to E Double, man. I'm E Double hit me. Kurt, this E Double who was getting on us in the comments yesterday. So I'm gonna do a live with E Double, man. He in the chat. He been dropping all this. He been dropping all the super chats. So I'm gonna do a live with him, man. So he gonna hold me accountable.
From California,
yeah. From Oakland. Hey, E Double. I'm finna mess with you, E Double. hey, E Double. You talking about Chicago, man? I heard. Don't y'all got the Chinese mayor out there? Hey, Oakland ain't no better than Chicago, man. But we gonna talk about it. Yeah. We gonna talk about it. Y'all running in them stores, running in them 7-Elevens out there, robbing them poor business owners, them poor family-owned businesses. They running in them stores and taking everything out of them. They doing smash and grab. Man, Oakland ain't no better than Chicago, man. Oakland ain't no better than Chicago. They got I think the mayor's like a woman. I think she Chinese, man. She don't know what to do. Did she fire the police chief? Hey, man, E Double, I did my homework on Oakland, man. I did my homework, man. So we gonna have this conversation. I'm gonna check
When y'all gonna do it? When y'all gonna do it, man?
I'm gonna hit him back either tonight or tomorrow. And we're gonna set it up, man. I might, if I hit him back tonight in the morning, if I can get the thumbnail.
I'm invited back. I'm invited.
I don't know. Ask E Dub. You want to hold both of us accountable at the same time, or just you want to do it one at a time, E Dub? It's just gonna be a conversation. Man. I'm just cracking jokes. Hey, E Double.
Hey, Lou Jackson said. Lou Jackson said to get his number, man. Yeah, man. We're gonna take on E Double, man. We're gonna take on E Double, man.
Okay.
We're backing down. We're backing down from nobody.
He said Kirk can come too. So all right. So I'm gonna get I'm gonna hit E Double back, and I'm gonna hit E Double back, and then we're gonna have a conversation, man. As long as it's a good, clean, healthy conversation. Then I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I want to know,
Stand down.
E Double told me to stand down. Stand down. he used my own. Man. He done called. He said, "Man, y'all goofy," and he called us a mark.
Oh man.
I'm like, damn, man. But it's all good. We're gonna have a conversation though, man. You can't it ain't that serious, so we're gonna have a conversation. I actually look and now we ain't bringing no smoke, man. It ain't gonna be nothing. I'm not bringing no smoke. I just want to have a conversation. I just want to know what's on your mind.
Yeah, I want to ask him one question. What did I say wrong? You know what I mean? So set it up.
Let's save it for the discussion. We'll have the discussion. It won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be. I don't know, man. I got a lot of stuff in the queue. So if not this week, maybe next week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tuesday or something. We could set it up for. So, but that's coming up. And Rock Financial will be here tomorrow. So so be on the lookout for all that. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. To the next one, guys. See y'all tomorrow. I'm out.
Peace out.